Keanu Reeves. A man whose silence speaks louder than words. A man who has lived through fame, heartbreak, loss, and redemption, all while carrying a kind of peace that few can ever understand. You see, Keanu isn't just another Hollywood actor. He's a spirit, a quiet warrior in a world that never stops shouting. And yet, behind that gentle smile, behind those calm, thoughtful eyes, lies a story that's far more heartbreaking than most could ever imagine. At 60, Keanu stands as one of Hollywood's most beloved souls. The internet calls him the wholesome king, the man who never ages, the sad boy hero. But beneath the memes, the laughter, and the movie quotes, there's a life carved out of pain and purpose. A story of love lost too soon, of fame that came with a price, of a man who gave everything and expected nothing in return. Now imagine this. It's late at night in Los Angeles. The streets are quiet. Keanu walks alone, hands in his pockets. No entourage, no cameras, just a shadow in the city that once tried to swallow him whole. He passes a homeless man on the corner, and without hesitation, he stops, kneels, and offers not just money, but conversation. That's who he is. The man who listens when the world forgets to. You ever notice how some people have everything? The fame, the fortune, the spotlight, but still carry an emptiness you can't quite name. That's Keanu, not because he's broken, but because he feels he's lived through storms that would have shattered others, yet he stands quietly, humbly, like someone who's made peace with pain. When you look at Keanu Reeves today, his kindness, his humility, his calm, you see a man who has chosen compassion over bitterness. But if you knew the heartbreak that shaped him, you'd understand why his silence is his loudest prayer. Because this is not just the story of a movie star. This is the story of a man who turned tragedy into purpose. And if you stay with me till the end, you'll see why Keanu Reeves at 60 isn't just one of Hollywood's greatest legends, he's one of humanity's quietest heroes. Before he was John Wick, before The Matrix made him a global icon, Keanu Reeves was just a boy searching for peace in a world that never gave him one. Born in Beirut, raised between continents, Keanu's childhood was anything but stable. His father left when he was just 3. His mother, loving but restless, moved from city to city, chasing new beginnings that never seemed to last. Keanu grew up in motion, new homes, new schools, new faces, but one thing always stayed the same, that quiet sadness in his eyes. You see, when you grow up never knowing where home really is, you learn early how to carry your world inside you. That's what Keanu did. While other kids were dreaming of fame, he was just trying to understand life, trying to understand why love always seemed to leave. He wasn't the loudest kid or the most confident. He had dyslexia, which made reading hard, but he never let that stop him. Instead, he found comfort in movement, in acting, in skating, in music, anywhere. He could feel free. And when the world finally noticed him, when he hit Hollywood with that magnetic calmness and soulful stare, nobody realized what he'd already survived. They saw the movie star. They didn't see the boy who learned early that happiness doesn't last forever. But life, as it often does, had more tests waiting. In 1999, at the peak of his fame, when The Matrix had made him the face of a new era, tragedy came knocking again. His girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, the woman he deeply loved, gave birth to their baby girl, Ava. But the child was stillborn. Imagine that one moment you're preparing to become a father, and the next, your whole world shatters in silence. Keanu didn't make headlines for partying or scandal. After that, he disappeared because grief, real grief, doesn't scream. It whispers. It breaks you quietly. piece by piece. And then, just a year later, Jennifer herself died in a car accident, 2 losses back to back, the kind of pain that can turn even the strongest soul into dust. But not Keanu. He didn't lash out. He didn't lose himself in fame or rage. He did something far more powerful. He endured. He carried his pain with grace. He went to work. He showed up for people. And he kept living, not because it was easy, but because he understood that sometimes surviving is the victory. And that's the part that makes him different. He never used his pain for sympathy. He never asked for attention. He just kept giving to strangers, to colleagues, to fans. He'd sit on park benches alone, share coffee with people who had nothing, and remind everyone that kindness still exists in this world because Keanu Reeves isn't acting when he's humble. He's living what he's learned. That compassion is the only thing that can grow in the soil of loss. And now, at 60, when he looks back, you can see it in his eyes. He's not bitter, he's thankful. Thankful that he still gets to wake up to breathe, to create, to love, even if love has hurt him more than once. He once said, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends." And maybe that's the quiet truth of his life, that you can't erase pain, but you can learn to live beautifully beside it. There's something sacred about the way Keanu Reeves moves through the world. Now, you can feel it. Can't you? He doesn't walk like a man chasing fame anymore. He walks like someone who's already made peace with everything he's lost. At 60, most people would cling to legacy, to image, to money. But Keanu, he clings to simplicity, to peace. They say money changes people. But Keanu never let it change him. He gave away millions quietly to children's hospitals, to cancer research, to crew members on movie sets who never expected a dime. No cameras, no press, no announcements. He once bought Harley-Davidson motorcycles for the entire stunt team of The Matrix. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Because gratitude is who he is. When you look at Keanu, you realize something. He's a man who never wanted to be worshipped. He wanted to be understood. He never chased power. He chased purpose, while others built mansions. He lived in a small, modest home, while others traveled in private jets. He sat in the subway, with strangers smiling softly. Just another face in the crowd. There's a story one day. Someone saw him sitting alone in the park, eating a sandwich. No assistant, no entourage, no luxury. Just him, quietly enjoying the day. That photo went viral. People said, "How can a man that rich, that famous, look so ordinary?" But that's the secret. Ordinary is what he's always wanted to be, because fame took so much from him: privacy, love, peace. But it couldn't take his soul. You ever notice how his roles changed over time in John Wick? You saw the pain, a man who lost everything but still found a reason to fight. That wasn't just acting, that was truth. Keanu wasn't playing a character. He was expressing something real, something human, something that lived deep inside him. And maybe that's why audiences connect with him, because when he speaks, it's not scripted. It's felt when he smiles. It's not forced. It's earned when he loves. He loves quietly, sincerely, without fear of judgment or loss. He's found something most people spend their entire lives searching for: peace without perfection, happiness without noise, purpose without applause. And if you think about it, maybe that's the real success story here. Not the box office numbers, not the awards, but the man who walked through fire, lost everything, and still chose to be kind because kindness, that's Keanu's superpower. The thing that makes him timeless, the thing that turns tragedy into grace. So now, when people call him the internet's favorite human, it's not because he's flawless, it's because he's real. He's a reminder that no matter how dark life gets, you can still choose light. And maybe that's what his story has been teaching us all along, and now at 60. Keanu Reeves isn't just surviving, he's thriving in a way most people never learn. He moves through life with quiet intention, understanding that happiness isn't measured in wealth or fame, but in moments of connection, kindness, and presence. Every smile he shares, every small act of generosity, carries the weight of a man who has known loss, but refuses to let it harden him. Think about it. He's given millions away, quietly supported colleagues, lifted strangers, all without asking for attention. He could demand the world's admiration, but instead, he chooses humility. He chooses peace. And in that choice lies a lesson for all of us, that the greatest power comes not from what you have, but from how you give. Keanu once said, "Fame is almost like a mask, but kindness is the real face." And if you look closely at him now, you can see it. The eyes of someone who has lived fully loved deeply and felt every heartbreak, yet continues to walk forward with grace. Every scar, every quiet night of solitude, every challenge faced has shaped the man who now stands not just as a legend in film, but as a symbol of resilience, compassion, and humanity. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't crave validation. Instead, he reminds us that life's true rewards come from authenticity, from giving without expectation, and from embracing every moment, even the painful ones. He embodies the idea that tragedy doesn't have to define you. It can refine you. So if you've ever felt broken, lost, or invisible, look to Keanu Reeves' journey. He proves that even when the world seems harsh, you can move through it with dignity, kindness, and an unshakable sense of self. And that's the real magic behind his life story. A man who turned heartbreak into purpose, pain into empathy, and silence into a language the world can understand. As you watch this story unfold, remember, it's not about how much you have, how famous you are, or how perfect life seems. It's about how you respond to the challenges, how you love, how you give, and how you carry yourself with courage and integrity. That is Keanu Reeves at 60. A living reminder that tragedy can be heartbreaking, but humanity and kindness can be even more powerful.